Hello everyone, welcome to HobbyEXP. My name is Cheston and I'm here with Henry. Henry, how you doing, mate? So, Henry,
Hello,
I'm
man. Hey, Justin. I'm doing good. How are you?
sweet, sweet. Look, I'm happy, man. I'm good. I'm happy you're here because I you have a very interesting story to tell. I'm just gonna give a brief snippet about it. So this handsome young gentleman came, what was it? Top eight in the Sydney One Piece regionals, right? And
Yes.
when I was there commentating and I started speaking to him, I didn't even know this. This is one of your first TCGs that you've played competitively. Is that right?
That's right. One Piece is my first and only TCG.
That's crazy. So I've played a lot. I'm probably a little bit older than you. I'm not gonna play games whatever my age is, but I've played a lot of TCGs over my lifetime, and but um, yeah, this is your first one. So what made you I guess decide on One Piece of all things?
Um, well, basically, I actually only like got into TCG in general at the start of last year. Um,
Crazy,
I'm not sure if you know much about Pokemon, but basically the 151 set had dropped at the start of last year or towards the end
right?
of the year before, and basically because I like Pokemon, well, at least the original 151, it really got me back. Well, it really got me um attracted to it, I guess. And I just bought a pack. I pulled a cool card. I think it was a Tangela. And from there, my addiction just started. And I was like, oh, wow, wait, there's a One Piece card game. There's some really cool cards in One Piece. And I bought some One Piece cards, got some cool hits. And I found out, oh, people were actually playing. There were a few people around me. My friend Johnny Doe, he told me that he actually plays at a store, local tournaments. And
Sweet.
he brought me to one. And basically, it all just started from there. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But before we continue, quick word from our sponsors. Here we are.
HobbyEXP is now proudly associated with the Gamer Realm, who has sent us this tub of Buffs energy drink. Buffs will help you focus in and sustain your energy levels for your next gaming session. Made by gamers for gamers, it is also more cost effective than a standard energy drink at only $1.33 per serving. They also have a non caffeinated version if you love the taste but don't want the energy spikes. Use code HobbyEXP at checkout for 10% off your order. This also supports our channel as we get commission every time you use our code. Link is in the description below.
So, you tell me that this is you got into collecting cards and all this sort of stuff last year because of the Pokemon 151. It's kind of funny that you mentioned that because I was around when the first Pokemon packs came out, so I have first edition stamped booster packs from like base packs from back in the day. So I feel like a real old man compared to you right now. But
That is so cool. What?
one day I'll show you them. One day. Um,
I'd love to see it.
so, obviously, Pokemon is such a big nostalgia thing, and you just dove right into it. Did you master set it? Did you like, or like, are you just
Um,
collecting Pokemon that you like? Like, what's your favorite Pokemon?
favorite Pokemon question is always a tough one. Hey, I think I always have
Top three.
different
All right, top three.
types.
Top three. Top
Yeah,
three.
yeah.
Top three. Top three. Top
All
three.
right, all right. That makes it a bit easier, narrows it down. Gengar is definitely up there.
Oh, okay.
Um, in terms of like a cool Pokemon, in terms of a
Yeah.
cute Pokemon, I think potentially Eevee, just
Okay.
Eevee, the base Eevee.
Okay.
And then like a random one, I actually really like Ditto. Ditto is like just such a weird niche Pokemon, right? The Pokemon that can become anything. But
Yeah.
it's like the Ditto form itself is already so silly.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Are you gonna get the new Ditto game, the Poketopia or whatever it is?
Wait. Oh, yeah. That a Ditto game? I heard about it. I actually haven't had enough time to like keep up with all of this news, but I did see some screenshots of these Pokemon NPCs and I was like, wow, these Pokemon NPCs look so silly. Are they Dittos? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so the premise, if I'm not mistaken, is like you're like a Ditto, and if you ever played like Animal Crossing, that sort of thing,
Yeah.
you basically get abilities from other Pokemon, and you start building like a little town and society for yourself. So you just become like a Scyther, to, like cut grass and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, all these NPCs come around and want to hang out with you and stuff. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
That's
Pretty cool.
sick. That's sick. I'm definitely going to be playing that one. I definitely like games like that.
Yeah. It's really cool, chill vibes. So,
Hmm.
but back to Pokemon. So I know you obviously collecting Pokemon. Are you keeping up to date with the new sets? Like, you're brand new into this whole TCG scene, and you've come at a point where card games are in a weird spot where their prices for some cards are like insane, right?
Mm.
Um, how do you think it feels like for a new person to try and get in and like just even have the fun, let alone to be like an investor or sort of thing, you know?
Mm.
What's your take on the situation?
Yeah, I totally agree with your perspective on what the market is sort of looking like right now. Because when I first started, I feel like I was able to find a lot of deals on packs, like just Pokemon packs. I remember when retail stores were selling them at half price, reduced costs. I could get $5 packs, but nowadays the best you can find at retail, $8.50, $9. And they're never going on special ever again, really.
No,
Um,
no.
yeah, so I think there's a very big barrier to entry on having fun with just ripping packs.
Mm,
Like when I first started, just because of how expensive it is. The hobby is expensive. It's always been expensive, but it's now expensive to even start or have an opportunity to really start. Uh, yeah, I guess as a new person into the hobby, I would recommend, you know, not spending too much on ripping packs then, because unfortunately, that's where the market's led us to. We can't rip as much as we want. We can't rip an infinite amount without hurting our bank accounts.
of course, of
Um,
course. And
but
without making yourself feel bad about it, right? Because if you don't hit what you want,
that's
yeah.
exactly, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I think the best alternative to that is if you know what Pokemon you like, then
Mm,
yeah, singles is the way to go. Or, if you know what character you like in One Piece, or whatever TCG there is, uh, you just buy the single because honestly, it's going to be a lot harder unless you're one really lucky guy or
yeah,
girl
yeah,
to
yeah.
pull the exact card that you want from that exact pack, right?
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. I think look, I've had plenty of friends who've joined in on like Magic or other TCGs, and I try and give them the same kind of advice. Like if you can afford to open a couple packs here and there, great, that's fine. But realistically, long term, if you're just trying to play the game or really collecting a specific type of thing, just buy it individually. It's just way more cost
Mm,
effective, and yeah, yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
I think we've kind of touched on this, but look, there's so many other TCGs in the market right now, right? You've got One Piece, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, and all that sort of stuff. I feel like Pokemon is one of those games that's been around for forever, and there's obviously a lot of nostalgia associated to it. So, you've
Mm.
obviously picked Pokemon to be your first collecting sort of game. Did you have a lot of Pokemon experience before that? Did you play the games or something like that? Or because I was exposed to the cards before the games. So it
Wow.
was it was a yeah, again, I was around when yeah, my order of like getting exposed to stuff was really weird. So what was your experience like?
Yeah, yeah, I'm very shocked to hear you say that because you're not that much older than me, Justin, but I know you are older than me. So I would have assumed that like you would have played the games because they would have came out around the time where you would have played games, right? Well, maybe you didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually started my very first Pokemon game was Pokemon Crystal. So in
Oh,
the early
okay.
2000s, that's the
Okay.
very first Pokemon game I played.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and from there I probably played like quite what do you call it? Quite religiously in a sense up until maybe Diamond, Pearl, and
Yeah,
Platinum.
yeah.
And from there, that was when I stopped playing as much Pokemon. Yeah, just the games. But ever since then, it was just at the start of last year when I saw that 151 set, and I was like, oh wow. I already knew there were Pokemon cards that were a thing, but I never thought I would be interested in, getting into the TCG or buying Pokemon cards because back then there was always that stigma of, oh, it's just cardboard. Like, why do you want to spend so much money on cardboard, sort of thing? Yeah.
Not only that, people, I think until kind of recently with this whole up and down of Pokemon and unfortunately greed is a big thing of it, right? I feel like a lot of people still associate Pokemon as a children's game, which it is. It's like fundamentally it still is. But now
Yes.
there's such a big component of people like us who have like nostalgia for it. Like I feel that there's more and more products that are like almost geared towards us, like our generation who grew up from the get-go, and like Pokemon 151 would not make sense to a lot of people who started their journey on like the DS, for example, or even the Game Boy Advance. They're just like, I mean, these Pokemon are cool. It's the latest set. I'll still buy some, but my I guess affinity towards it is not probably not as high compared to people like yourself and I who grew up when that thing first came around. So, do you think that do you think companies are aware of that?
Without a doubt. I mean, that 151 set would not have dropped without that idea of the target audience for
Hmm.
sure.
Hmm.
And well, I guess definitely worked on me, but
Look, if the Japanese know anything, they know how to push a card game. Speaking of pushing a card game, so you're playing One Piece competitively. You obviously done pretty well, right? You came top eight in a 500 person Sydney Regionals event that was had that happened fairly recently, just before OP13.
yeah.
Um, and you said, your friends introduced you to the games and all this sort of stuff. What do you do to like prepare yourself? It must have been quite daunting to get into it, right? Because you see all these people like, oh, where'd you get that card from? And where'd you get that card from? Like, and because you started around, I think you said set five, maybe.
Start a set six and a set five. I might have
Okay,
like just touched it. Yeah.
right. So you would have seen
Hmm.
certain cards were like, oh, that card's not in set five, set six. Where'd you get that from? And getting access to all the cards would have been kind of tricky for you. Do you have any tips for people who want to start playing competitively or try to get cards to play with?
Yeah. Seriously, like I totally agree. Like I'm surprised you actually understand this perspective because you told me you started since set one. So yeah, like when I started for the very first time, I think I started with well, I know I started with my very first starter deck, which was Zoro and Sanji that came out at the time. I think
Oh,
ST12.
that
I
deck is kind of
absolutely
spicy.
love
That
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 deck.
leader is kind of spicy right now, eh?
It's very spicy. I absolutely love that deck, and I played that all the way up until set seven, set eight, and basically, yeah, like I love the fact that it's come up on the radar again, and into the meta in a sense. But yeah, in terms of being a beginner, and I actually still have this struggle. Not gonna lie, finding cards from like OPO1 is a struggle. For
Mm.
example, OPO1 Nami Searcher,
Otama?
OPO1 Sanji's, Otama got a reprint, which
Yeah,
was
true.
very
Oh,
lucky.
sorry. True. She did. She did.
Yeah,
She did. She did. She did.
but cards that didn't get a reprint, like the Sanji that think that takes your own life
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
put this two on, yeah. See that's a card that is out of my reach in a sense. Like it's hard to find.
Mm.
I can definitely find it, but I guess the best or easiest way for me now would be asking someone who's already got the card. And I'm lucky enough that I've been playing for a while now. I've got a community from playing at the local store. Um, and there's plenty of players who have actually started from set one as well and have those cards.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah.
Where is your locals, by the way?
Yeah, my locals. So I actually go to quite a few of them, but I think the one that I frequent the most, or the one that I started with as well, that I hold the most dear, is rccrew and hobbies or
Nice.
cardsrus. I think there's two stores in one. And yeah, shout out to
Yeah.
Jacob and Matt. Yeah,
Yeah. Fair. They're
and
good bunch
Nate
of
as
people.
well.
Good bunch of people.
Yes,
Good
very good
bunch of
people.
people.
Yeah, they've looked after me for the whole year now since they've taken ownership of it. Um, but I also play uh, at a locals close to my workplace, the Card Corner.
Ah, cool.
So
Where's that?
yes, that's in Blacktown.
Ah,
So
nice one.
that's run by a great man named Sel. And he's very generous. He's looked after me as well over the past couple of months. So I've actually joined and been sponsored by him, his team Card Corner.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Congratulations. That's awesome. That's awesome.
so that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah. So,
and
it's
then
yeah. Sorry. Go on.
oh sorry, just other locals that I would go to like Gamescube. I used to go ELVT as well. And yeah, there's other locals that I've been starting up recently that I've been trying to go to and help out as well, like Kid and Play over in Seven Hills, as well as the Fairfield Hobby Collectors AU. So plenty of places. There's a lot more coming up as you know the One Piece card game is getting more popular, and I'm really happy for that as well. And yeah, sorry, what were you going to
Oh,
say,
no, no, no.
Cheston?
I was just gonna say like, um, I love the fact that so the only reason why I understand is because, obviously us as, as people, we try and help out anyone who starts new, right? So at my local hobby store, deckedoutgaming, like there's been plenty of people who come through the store and say, "Hey, I want to get into One Piece. What do I do?" And I'm sure you're the same, and everyone in your local community is the same, right? Just say, "Hey, man, I
Mm,
got a bunch of cards. Just take them." You know what I mean? And you just want to get them started, and there's bulk, there's whatever, and so I get it.
mm,
I've seen it a lot, and I'm very glad that this community does that. Like we're all willing to share what we can and just try to get people at least to the starting line. How far along the track you want to go and how much money you want to spend. That's your own sort of mission, but at least we can give you like the blocks to at least get you to the starting line. No, that's good. That you go to a lot of different locals, man. Like you must travel around quite a lot. But it's good practice for you, right?
yeah, it is. It's I really enjoy like meeting different people, different players, learning different play styles, seeing how it goes, seeing how I match against someone that I wouldn't know anything about, right?
Mm.
Because I feel if I play at my own locals all the time, I'm versing the same people. I sort of get a read on the player rather than a read on the game, and that might affect how I
Mm.
play. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's sensible. That's sensible. And I guess, you play with the same people after a while, you understand what kind of decisions they make. Yeah, that makes sense. You ever want to shake it up a little bit. No, that's good. That's good. That's
Hmm.
good. So, from my understanding as well, you're how do I put this? So invested into the card collecting whole. You're doing a bit of a business on the side as well. Tell me about that.
Yeah, that's right. I've actually started a business with a few friends. So Anthony Tran, Johnny Doe, to mention, that I mentioned earlier as well. And our business is just vendoring at card shows, and we're called Koala Collectables.
Nice, very
Um,
Australian, very good.
yeah, very Australian. That was the idea to be sort of like an Australian sort of um, icon, or yeah, Australian identity. Sorry.
Sure, sure.
And yeah, basically, like if we ever get big enough, if we start streaming, hopefully that identity pushes out more publicly and globally potentially. But otherwise, the vending side of it, we've only done a few shows, and I've really enjoyed it. Honestly, just the interactions with people, talking about what sort of cards people like, what sort of cards people struggle to find, but they find it at our store. It's just really cool. Yeah.
Nice. It's obviously collecting is a big hobby of yours. Of collecting cardboard, is a big thing of yours right now. Are there any other hobbies that you're attached to at this point in time, or just that one?
So prior to investing myself fully into TCG, I was very invested into playing dodgeball.
Oh,
And at the moment, I am trying to find a balance between doing a bit of both now.
okay, okay, okay. Bit of
Yeah,
physical exercise can't hurt.
yeah.
Is it competitive dodgeball?
Yes, that's right.
That's
Competitive dodgeball
awesome.
is insanely fun. It's really, really fun.
Hmm, okay.
I think it deserves a lot more love in terms of a sport. It's still, in my opinion, way too niche. Just on a broader perspective, taking a step back from it, outside of being in the dodgeball community, it's still a small sport. It's nothing, it's got nothing on basketball, netball, volleyball,
Hmm.
all of your mainstream stuff. But yeah, if you happen to search up dodgeball and you find that there's a local comp near you, I recommend starting it out, checking it out. Really, really cool.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I guess you're right. Like it just doesn't get the same amount of attention. And really, the my only real exposure to dodgeball is obviously the movie, which was
Hmm.
hilarious. But I mean, the only other time I would see it around is like when I was in school. Like it's just like a random sport that you did sort of thing. Otherwise, you'd be playing basketball, your soccer, or whatever. And like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
dude, I've got a clip of myself on TikTok or something doing a curveball. I've got to totally link that to you. It's actually really cool.
yeah, 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 for
Like,
sure. Send it
not
through.
the globe, but like, yeah, yeah. I gotta find that one. Yeah, we can look at that later.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um, yeah, I guess yeah, there's a whole realm of, people who play this kind of sport, and it's big enough so that it's stuck around, right? So, but yeah, I'm impressed. I'm surprised it doesn't get more attention because you got other sports that like pickleball and all sort of stuff that are slowly on the rise, and wondering what's the
Mm.
difference between that and dodgeball in terms of accessibility, maybe, or something, or
I think
uh,
it's definitely accessibility.
yeah,
Yeah. Because pickleball, you can sort of just pick up, play with some friends.
yeah,
Dodgeball, if you play competitively, it's like you need 12 people. It's a 6v6 sport. So it's actually really, really hard to even find that many people to play casually. Right?
yeah. Okay.
Whereas pickleball is only like you only need a 2v2 at most.
True, 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 true. And I
Yeah.
guess, casual basketball, it's like, 3v3 or whatever it is, so it's still easier and whatnot. Like you just, or whoever's at the basketball court, you kind of just figure out a team or whatever. But yeah, I guess no one's like casually rocking up to a court to play dodgeball, I guess by that
Mm,
extension. Yeah, 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 yeah. So
that's right.
what do you think is the future that you want to do with TCGs? Do you think you're gonna keep going with it? Do you think you're gonna stop? Is it gonna keep going? Is this market gonna keep going, you think?
Um, yeah, in terms of my own expectations for what I'm going to do, I guess I will at least always be dabbling in the TCC market now, trying to keep up to date with news. Whether I fully invest myself depends on where life is taking me at the moment in terms
Sure.
of if I have work commitments or not. Um, but right now, or for the near future at least, I intend to keep playing One Piece competitively, potentially pick up other TCGs like playing Pokemon potentially, or
Hmm.
even maybe even Riftbound. Um, but I don't know whether I would invest myself as wholeheartedly as I did with One Piece when I first started it.
Hmm. Okay. So One
Yeah.
Piece is gonna be your pride and joy. No, it's good. It's good. It's good.
Yeah. In terms of the market, like if you're just asking for my personal prediction on it,
Yeah. Look,
I
I'm
think
unless you have a crystal ball
yeah,
and you can tell me something, then.
yeah, exactly right. Like I guess every couple of years, even a couple of years back, nobody could have predicted how big the TCG
Hmm.
like market would have boomed, right? I think we're in that position again where it could go up, it could go down. We really don't know. It just really depends on how well Nintendo and Pokemon is doing as a company in terms of the Pokemon side. And who knows if the One Piece IP holds really strong as well, then cards could just rise in value like crazy, like right now too.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people try and join in on One Piece. They're really collecting a lot of those stamp Luffy's or stamp championships cards and all this sort of stuff. And I've been trying to figure out and understand where did that come from. And it just seems like
Yeah.
someone tried to, rip some packs, and they're like, oh, this card is worth a stupid amount of money or something like that. As all things really.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I have my own personal opinion on like the One Piece market right now as well.
Hmm.
Like I think it's booming and spiking way too high right now, or way too
Hmm.
hard in terms of like Luffy cards, where you hear people saying Luffy is the Charizard of One Piece, where Charizard cards are like super expensive in Pokemon, but and Luffy cards now are just going crazy, crazy high. Um, so like you, I'm sure you've heard about like the manga buyouts and
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
all of that, and the SP buyouts. Like yeah, they're harder to hit, but um, yeah, I guess yeah, the spike on them is just insane. I don't know if it will hold. I think it will start tipping back again. Maybe long term, they'll get to a price where they make up for the value that you're buying at right now.
Hmm.
But yeah, like it's insane to think of like almost every Luffy card that is rare has shot up by 20 times even. Because have you seen the that blue Luffy card, that promo with the
Yep.
writing on it?
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yep.
remember that card. I remember last year, I bought that card from Johan. If you guys remember Johan,
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
in
yeah.
the previous video, who also top eight. He he sold me that card for like $10-15, and I was just like, hey, I really like this card. Can I buy this off you, Johan? And I bought it off him for like $10-15 back then, and now it's like what, $250 on the market? It's insane.
I know. I know.
Yeah, like dude, yeah.
I was a big player at first, and I've slowly had to step away from One Piece because life commitments and all this sort of stuff. And I was going through my collection and selling some stuff off, and then I remember I still have my big box of promos, and I always tried to get 4 copies of every promo that came out because you never know when it's going to come out in a
Playsets.
deck or whatever. And yeah, playsets. And most people are like, you're a madman. And I'm like, yeah, I probably am, and I probably spent too much money on it. But when people needed promos, I'm like, yeah, yeah, I'm ready. Are you ready? You're not ready. So now it's probably spiked even more from when I was getting it. But yeah, I was looking through and I'm like, oh, I still have these. And yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Like, I don't understand why Luffy is like this. I'm sure it sparked somewhere and it's just start this rolling on effect. Will it last long term? I have no idea. I honestly would have thought like Nami probably would have been
I
the
know, right?
Charizard, or just because of waifu bonus.
Mm,
But yeah, I guess Luffy is like the main protagonist, if you want to call it like that, so
pretty much.
sure. But look, in all honesty, as much as I would love having associating my cards with big dollar values, I would love it to see it go and come back down again, right?
Mm.
As someone who's primarily always been a player, even though I did open a god pack and I would love to sell that, but that's a different story. But no, 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 no. But like, I just want people to play the game and enjoy it, right? Like, like collect their characters, favorite characters, and like, the Straw Hat Crew, and the One Piece live action season 2 is coming out kind of soon. So there's clearly a lot of people who are jumping on board to the IP who have never been exposed to it, or are now going to other avenues for them to explore. And I just hope that they get a chance to play the game, and just try it out at least. But yeah, with people buying up all the stock, and we both know how hard it is for some reason Bandai to print enough product to go
It's
around.
insane. Yeah. It's been like that forever in terms of just, yeah, every set, just not enough print.
Yeah,
And dude, like, I wonder if like OP13 is even getting a reprint because of that Ace misprint, right?
mm, I
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Bandai have apologized, and I know in other TCGs, like they really they put up like a apology on Twitter or whatever it is for Gundam because set two was a really interesting one. So they really wanted to focus on local game stores, which I think is great. But then places like EB Games got like zip or very, very low amounts. And
Mm.
in my opinion, I don't think that's such a good idea. I think you still need some there, like your big W's, your Kmart's or whatever, because at the end of the day,
That,
if
that's the public.
yeah,
That's where most of the public will see it.
literally it, right? Because
No wonder I haven't seen it in like stores. Yeah.
yeah, that's where they get their exposures. Not everyone is wired like you and me to look for our local game stores, and 100% they should be supported. 100%. And EB Games and whatever, I'm sure they'll survive. And it's not like they don't have Pokemon or whatever. But I think to get people into the hobby, other than like your social medias and whatever, having it at your generalist game stores, like who sell puzzles and whatever, it definitely helps it. So I don't know. Hopefully they'll fix that. I really wish there was more stock floating around of any of the TCGs, but yeah, yeah,
Mm,
yeah, yeah,
I agree. But yeah, I want a bit of a backtrack onto one of the things you was talking about,
yeah,
the promos. When I
yeah.
first started, I ended up buying 4 sets of the live action promo for some reason.
But now they're
Dude,
sick because of Arlong and the Jinbei
dude, what
deck.
is that about? That is
It's
ridiculous, man.
as an admin of the One Piece Australia group, it's hilarious to see cards that randomly shoot up. I'm like, okay, either I've missed a leak where it's like, oh, this card is like sort of good with it, or it's like bonkers with it. Like I remember when UP Luffy got revealed, and
Mm.
it started making waves in Japan, and everyone was like, "Nine cost Sanji," and I'm just like, "Whoa, where did all these nine cost Sanji came?"
Instantly,
Yeah.
instantly.
Oh,
I
it.
remember, I remember that reveal that night. Me and my friends were in the car, and everybody just started jumping on eBay, and it was like, "Hey, Nanko Sanji for 20 bucks, buy
Go
it
go go
right
go go
now!
go go!
Go, 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 go!"
It's all art for $40. Let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah, it always starts with one post, and then this one post multiplies to infinity of like, oh man, I'm just chasing these Sanjis just for no apparent reason. But yeah, obviously certain people see the leaks earlier than others, and they're like, ah man, why did I sell it for $5 like last month or whatever? But
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Before we close out, would you like to do any shout outs to your team, your community, your friends, whatever?
Yeah, just shout out to all of the communities that I've gone to, played with all the time. RC Crew, cardsrus, Team Card Corner, Kid and Play, uh, t- Hobby Collectors AU. Of course, shout out to my own business, Koala Collectables. And honestly, I want to do a shout out to, is it Decked Out Gaming, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Decked Out Gaming. That one time I went to you guys for the Manga Chopper competition, that was really fun. I really had a good time there as well.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. You were so
Yeah,
close as well.
I know. It is what it is, but
Here's what it is.
uh, but yeah, that's the nature of card games. It happens.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's a great community, and I guess if I were to give any closing messages as well, it's you just start. If once you start, you go to your local card stores, you play. You'll find that it's a really good community out there. That's why I go to so many of different ones because just about in all of them, the One Piece community is really really good, and you'll find yourself enjoying it a lot.
Hmm. No, 100%. I think that the terror. I think this part that's the scariest is always the first one, right? Because you're new, you don't know anyone, and um, all I can say is, yeah, I understand the feeling. I actually went to my first. I played another TCG, Flesh and Blood, and because they released a new format where it's only cards that are rare, uncommon, and common, and that's it. That's the entire format. So it's like a pauper sort of edition. So it's like a nice entry to like to certain people, and I had no idea what the rules were, but everyone give them a chance. Everyone is super welcoming. Everyone will help out. Asking it's better to ask questions. Nothing is silly. No one is gonna, call you out on it or whatever. They know you're new, and everyone just
Mm.
wants to have a good time, right? So 100%. Yeah, that's a good final message. But yeah, with that, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I hope to catch you all next time. Please support your local game stores. Please support Koala Collectables, lovely bunch of people. And yeah, I will all see you next time. Have a good one.
Bye.